You take you take all those good B-movie elements and pieces, you put it with a nice heavy budget, and what do you get? Well, you get yourself a kick-ass little flick.
What is this? A 1,000-year army. These 1,000-year soldiers.
I'm Lindsay, and this is my review for Overlord. I had such a good time watching this film. It's probably my favorite movie-going experience of the year. Well, the most fun anyways. It's right up there with my experience with Rampage earlier this year. But with Rampage, you were more laughing at the movie. This one is just balls to the wall thrill ride from beginning to end. The basic plot line is this group of soldiers, they're parachuting into France on the eve of D-Day, and they get separated, and their mission is to take down this radio antenna that's in this tower of this church where the Nazis have made a compound. And only a few of them find each other, but they still want to complete this mission that they've been given. And when they arrive at this church, they realize that there's a little more nefarious and icky things going on, and they're trying to decide whether they just need to complete their mission or also take care of this other thing that they discover. I love the action, I love the music, I like the setting, the style, the story. It's all great. You take all those stock and cliche B-movie elements, you put a budget behind it and some talent from in front of and behind the camera, and you have the makings for just an awesome little flick. It's scary, it's funny, it's gross, it's kick-ass. I loved every second of it. And after I got home from seeing it, I actually sat down and made a list of all the cool shit that I could think of off the top of my head that's in this film. So I'm gonna read you my list. It's on my phone. Let me pull it up here. All right, here we go. Ground to air battle, parachute through explosions, plane crash, flamethrowers, grenade in a guy's mouth, head explosions, headshots, decapitated talking head, Nazi scientist, underground Nazi science lab in a church, motorcycle with sidecar chase, badass French chick, big fucking guns, Nazi attack dogs, Nazis, SS officers, juiced up monster SS officer with half a face, impalement, meat hooks, amputated limbs, reanimation, secret serum, explosions, guys on fire, and mutated French people. And that was just what I could think of off the top of my head. There's way more cool shit than this in this film. And it was kind of funny, throughout the entire film, the guy who plays the grizzled, quiet soldier, I kept thinking to myself, this guy is just doing like a really good Kurt Russell impression, and fuck, he even looks like him too. Well, then I watched the end credits and duh, it's Kurt Russell's son. It's his son. So you have an awesome B-movie, and you have the next generation Kurt Russell starring in it. I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, it's the kind of movie where if this was made like back in the 80s or even the early 90s, it's something you'd see on Red Letter Media's Best of the Worst. But they just hit every single right note and avoided some of the pitfalls that B-movies can fall into that make them laughable or just bad and awkward. And they made a straightforward, just awesome film. So enjoyable. And for those of you that like the Nazi zombie shooter stuff, like in the Call of Duty games, you'll really like this movie. It was very reminiscent of that. I mean, it's not like a total ripoff, it just kind of has the same vibe. But there's action, there's kind of a romance, it doesn't really take a huge part of the film, it's just kind of alluded to. There's a really cute and funny relationship between one of the soldiers and this little kid that's in the village. And it's scary and tense and will have you on the edge of your seat sometimes and will shock the hell out of you at other times. You'll go through a myriad of emotions when you're watching this movie. And just right out of the gate, they hit you with this huge action scene. You get some exposition, where they are, why they're there, when they're there, and then boom, all hell breaks loose. And it does not stop until the end. Another thing I really liked was the opening and closing credits are kind of the same style as World War II newsreels and propaganda films. I thought that was a really cool touch. The gore effects were really good, and it was kind of a mix of practical and digital, where some of them, I don't think you could do them practically. There was probably a way, but wouldn't be as effective or icky if they did. But yeah, they're really gross and nasty and bizarre, and it's great. There was some talk early on, people thought this might be another entry into the Cloverfield universe, and thank God it wasn't, because it would have completely ruined this film. Because J.J. Abrams is attached as a producer, and you can kind of see his fingerprints on some of it, but in a good way. But yeah, I'm really glad that this did not become part of the Cloverfield universe, because I think it would have been a very different movie, and I think it would have killed everything that was good about it. So I would definitely recommend seeing this. It opens this weekend. Go see it. I'm gonna go see it again this weekend. I liked it that much. After you go see it, tell your friends, get them to go see it, because this is the kind of movie that I want to see more of. Just fun. Because yes, there's a myriad of historical inaccuracies in the film, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. It exists inside its own universe, and I loved it. So yeah, go check out Overlord. It's great. You'll have a great time. Well, that's gonna do it for this review. This is Lindsay signing off. I'll check you later.